our Week 17 NFL picks. This time there was no Thursday night game, so I decided to make my picks here Sunday morning. We'll start off with our 1 o'clock games. There's, I think, about 10 of them maybe. We got Kansas City going into Cincinnati, take on the Bengals. This is the key matchup because if Cincinnati wins, then they have clinched the AFC North. Now they aren't home, and they have been playing well the last few weeks, but they're playing against Kansas City, who's been playing well the last few months. Kansas City also last week with their win over Kansas City, and something else happened that had them clinch as well. I can't remember what it was. I believe it was New England losing. I think it was Buffalo beating New England. I think it was maybe, or maybe it was the Colts beating the Cardinals. I don't remember what it was. But they had a victory and they clinched the AFC West or the AFC. There was the Chargers off of Texas. That was what it was. But they clinched the AFC West last week, and then they ended up clinching, or they can potentially clinch the AFC. I think with like a win today and the Titans loss, they can clinch the AFC total, get first seed, and give them an off week next week. So I think the Chiefs will win this week, and then we'll see what happens next week. But I'm going to go with Kansas City to beat Cincinnati. Then we have Las Vegas Raiders going into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts here. Carson Wentz was on the COVID list earlier in the week. Tested out of it this morning. And then, even if he's not 100%, then I think you can just hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines and be okay against this Vegas defense. Defensive front, especially, that's just not that good in of itself. I think you can just kind of, be able to just run all over this team and then have to pass just a few times. Do what the New England Patriots did against Buffalo. Do what you guys did against New England. What you guys did against the New England Patriots 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna go with Indianapolis. Then we have Jacksonville going into New England, taking on the Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Patriots here. They're gonna get a free win here, but they're not gonna be the only AFC East team to get a free victory this week. With another team getting a really easy game. I'm gonna go with New England to beat the Jaguars. Darrell Bevel's not done a good job as his interim head coach. New England is gonna get right back on track after losing the last 2 games. They'll get right back on track, and they'll be back to where they are. Then you have Miami going into Tennessee to take on the Titans. This is a tough one. This is probably one of my tougher matchups to pick for this week. I'm gonna go with Tennessee, just because I think the way I don't think Miami's defense is going to be. I don't know. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think that the defense will be able to shut down each team. I think it'll be very low scoring. It'll be something like 10-3, 7-3, 7-6, something like really low scoring. That is, because both defenses are really good, and neither one of the offenses are really incredible. I mean, Tua's been playing pretty well the last few weeks, but I think he'll get shut down by the Titans defense. And I think the Titans defense or offense with Tannehill, A.J. Brown will get shut down by Miami's defense. I think it'll just be really defensively played game. And that's why I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think Tennessee with a win today can just clinch and lock up the AFC South with a win today. Miami's the 7th seed right now. They are 7th seed in the AFC. They're the last team to make the playoffs if playoffs were to end today. But I don't think they will end up making it. They would actually be playing the Titans in Tennessee. So this could be a potential playoff matchup, we see here in a few hours with these two teams playing off. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons going into Buffalo, take on the Bills. Bills with a win today, clinch up the AFC East. All they have to do is win one of these next 2 games where they play the Bills, or the Bills play the Falcons and the Jets. All they got to do is win both of those, and if I'm not mistaken, I think both of those games are at home. Yeah, they are. So if they win, they have 2 home games against 2 bad teams to clinch the playoffs. Now, I could see this week as being the trap game, and then they end up winning next week against New York. But I think what will happen is they will end up clinching the division here today with a win over Atlanta. I'm going to go Buffalo. They only have Tampa Bay going into New York taking on the Jets. Tampa Bay last week, they clinched up the NFC South with their victory. Atlanta would, I think, also get eliminated from playoff contention if they lost to Buffalo. That's another side note. But Tampa Bay's already locked up a division. They're fighting for first in the NFC, and they need a lot to happen for that to even go their way. I mean, they're behind Dallas and behind Green Bay as far as that goes. And I think actually they're behind. They might be behind the Rams too, for all that matter. I'm not sure. Yeah, they are. They're the 4th seed, so they need a lot to go right for them. A win today obviously helps that Buccaneers getting the first round bye. I do see them winning the NFC South, um, but I don't see them getting the first round bye. So they'll probably rest some people next week. I don't know. We'll see. But Tampa Bay should have an easy one against the Jets. Mike Evans is back today. It just should be a free victory, I think. Then you have Baltimore hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Baltimore just announced like 10, 15 minutes ago that Lamar Jackson was out. Tyler Huntley will get the start. Josh Johnson will be the backup. With that being said, I think the Rams defense will just smother Tyler Huntley, and I think the Rams will get a free victory. This is kind of just a good one to kind of lock up the division, really, with a win here today, and then they play San Francisco next week. They could easily lock up the NFC West, which is what everyone thought they would do. At the beginning of the season, that things didn't go that way last, a month in November, but it's picked up here in the month of December. I'm gonna go with the Rams to beat the Ravens in Baltimore. Then you have the Giants going into Chicago taking on the Bears. This is kind of the miniature toilet bowl of the week, I believe. There's three. Actually, no, it's not. Never mind. There's one that's going to be an even bigger toilet bowl game this week. So scratch that. But dang, my hair's not a mess. But I just did that. God damn. Anyway, then we got Chicago. So I think Chicago will win. They will not be keeping Matt Nagy. It doesn't seem like after the season. He'll probably play. He'll probably coach this week and next week, then get fired. Chicago won last week, even though they were already eliminated. They got eliminated with their loss to Minnesota on Monday night. The Giants got eliminated last week, I believe, with their loss. Last week they got eliminated, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Their loss to Philadelphia, they got eliminated. But it doesn't really matter. Last week they lost to Philadelphia, they got eliminated. But both teams are eliminated. Bears will probably get the victory. It's at home. I'm going Chicago. I really don't care about this game. It has no playoff implications. It has implications on the NFL draft. Then we have Philadelphia going into Washington to take on the football team. Eagles clinch with a win and a Vikings loss. Kirk Cousins is out today, so it looks like Philadelphia will have a free clinch to the playoffs with a victory. They'll have to see Sunday night, however. And then if the Washington football team loses, they're out for the season. They're out. They're eliminated. Washington has been in a slump the last few weeks, indicating to me that Taylor Heinicke will probably be gone after the season as starting quarterback. They'll probably roll with somebody new. There's a lot of quarterbacks are supposedly on the move after the season. And then there's also the NFL draft, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to go Philadelphia beat Washington. Philadelphia, these two teams played 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, and Philadelphia won. It was in Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia will get the same, about similar thing here. Montez Sweat's out for Washington, and Miles Sanders out for Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia gets a victory and to lock up and be close to locking up that 7th or 6th playoff spot. Then we have Denver going into Los Angeles take on the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Last time these two teams played, the Denver defense was able to just absolutely smother the Los Angeles Chargers offense. However, I think it'll be different this time. I think the Chargers grab the victory, and I think that the Chargers are going to be trying to sneak their way back into the playoffs. Right now, they're not in the picture. And with a win here, I think they get back into the picture with a win today. And I'm going to go with the Chargers. I don't think they can lock up a spot today, and I don't think that Denver gets eliminated, I believe, with a loss as well. With only one game left, them being 7-9 will not be something that you want to be. And Vic Fangio's job is potentially going to be his final game as a head coach. That matters. Then we have the Houston Texans going into San Francisco, taking on the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo could potentially be out for the season with his torn ligament in his hand and a chipped bone in his finger and his thumb. Could potentially miss the rest of the season. That would be a huge miss for the 49ers. Since they are close to clinching up a playoff spot, they clinch with a Saints loss and a 49ers victory. Those two teams play at the same exact time. So, San Francisco won't really know. They're just going to control what they can control, I guess. But with Trey Lance, with his quarterback, Nate Sudfeld, the backup, Houston Texans will be playing Davis Mills. So if you told me in week 1 that we'd be seeing Trey Lance versus Davis Mills, I probably wouldn't have believed you. I would have said it would have been Tyrod and Jimmy Garoppolo. But here we are. It's going to not be those two players. It's going to be Davis Mills and Trey Lance. With that being said, I still am going to go with the 49ers. I think Trey Lance will be fine. He has a good run game with him, and he's not going to do what Davis. He's not going to have to do what Davis Mills will have to do, where he's got to throw the ball a bunch and have to score a whole bunch to keep up with the other team's points. However, I think 49ers offense gets slowed down. I think their defense will be fine. I think San Francisco wins. Then we have Carolina going into New Orleans taking on the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints here, so San Francisco won't lock up a playoff spot, but Philadelphia will have a potential shot at the 7th seed. However, if Philadelphia wins and Minnesota loses on Sunday night or tonight, then Philadelphia actually will have a 7th seed, will clinch a playoff spot. But San Francisco will not have clinched a playoff spot because New Orleans can still jump up and get to the 7th spot. Philadelphia can move up to the 6th if the Texans were to win or something like that were to happen. But I'm going to go New Orleans to beat the Carolina Panthers. Panthers now Sam Darnold will be the full-time starter, so no more of this alternating quarterbacks every 2 plays. And then, really there's nothing for Carolina to play for. They're going to Matt Rule might get fired after the season's over. If they lose, it helps them out for draft positions. New Orleans has something to play for. I think New Orleans getting Taysom Hill back. I think they'll be just fine. They had to play with the 4th-string quarterback against a good Dolphins defense last week. Don't think it really, I think that affected them a little bit, but not a whole lot. I'm going to go with the Saints to knock off the Panthers. Then we have that was one of my toilet bowl options. This is the other one. Is Detroit going into Seattle taking on the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Seahawks to win. Also, 49ers Texans could be a candidate for the toilet bowl of the week. But Seattle will win here. It's the last time in Lumen Field, potentially for Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, as their future is actually in doubt, according to Adam Schefter. He tweeted that out this morning. Future's in doubt. Could be their last game here ever for those two, as they would go travel to Arizona next week. But I'm gonna go with Seattle to win here. Kind of be like their final, farewell to Russ and Pete Carroll. Will be a perfect storybook ending for them to go out with a victory. I'm gonna go with Seattle to knock off Detroit. As both these teams were also eliminated from playoff contention, Seattle got eliminated last week, so this one has no playoff implications. Nor does Giants Bears. Nor does not every other game has playoff implications, actually. So all this is important. Then we have Arizona going into Dallas taking on the Cowboys. A few weeks ago I would have said Cardinals. Cardinals have been in a slump. Dallas has been playing really well, and they are, potentially becoming an NFC Super Bowl candidate. I don't know if that's the way that I would phrase it, but they could potentially be a team that could go to the Super Bowl with the way they're playing recently, and that's why I'm gonna take them here today. If Dallas wins, they've already locked up the NFC East. Cardinals are right now trying to lock up that 5th spot. I think they have already locked that up. I do believe. I don't think San Francisco can jump them now, or they might be. No, yes, Cardinals have that 5th seed locked up for sure. They can't drop farther than 5, but Arizona could drop to Arizona could still go up to 4-3 with the Rams. They could jump up a lot higher with the Rams losing and they start winning. But I'm gonna go with Dallas to beat them here. Dallas is for the win today. In a Packers loss, they could move up to 1st in the NFC. But if Packers win, then Packers lock up the NFC, and it doesn't really matter if Dallas wins or not. But I'm gonna go with Dallas to knock off the Cardinals. Then on Sunday night we have Minnesota going into Green Bay to take on the Packers. If you asked me a few days ago when Kirk Cousins got put on the COVID list, I might have given Minnesota a chance. Now that he's on the COVID list, Sean Mannion is getting the starter. I'm going with Green Bay, and it's no contest for me. Jair Alexander got lifted off injured reserve for Green Bay. The defense has been playing really good. Their offense you got Aaron Rodgers, who's the best quarterback in the NFL, probably. Even though I don't like him, he is the best quarterback in the NFL, probably, or at least playing like it this season. So I think Green Bay has an easy victory against Minnesota on Sunday night tonight. So that's going to be fun to watch. Not really. Then we have Cleveland going into Pittsburgh taking on the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger was asked on Friday or Thursday if this was going to be his farewell game in Heinz Field. With next week they would be going into Baltimore, so this could potentially be the last game. But he was asked, and he said, "Yeah, that'll probably be it." So it doesn't seem like he's got much left in the tank. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to win as another a little farewell thing tomorrow. But then Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett both went in a press conference the next day after he said that, and said that they're going to send him off their way. So it's going to be some bad blood in this one, but I think Pittsburgh's going to be able to pull through with the victory, and keep their playoff hopes, their very slim playoff hopes, alive, and the Browns will be eliminated. Thank you guys all so much for watching. It's coming down to our final few weeks of football. There's not much left to really discuss here. It's coming down to the wire. Playoff spots are there's already 6 of them taken out of the available 14, and a bunch more will be taken today. And I'll see you guys all next week. Peace.